I want to do this video in like rocket speed time, okay? Like the next like 8 or 10 minutes because I don't have that much time. But anyway, in this video, I want to share how we handle healthcare as a family living abroad. I think healthcare is one of those topics, it's one of the major topics that families, people in general, even solo travelers are like mostly concerned about because when you think about the Western system, the US in particular, healthcare is such a big, healthcare is a money making business in the US to the point where everything is overpriced at this point. Once you have left the US and experienced the healthcare system elsewhere, it could be something basic, a checkup, whichever, you realize, oh my gosh, I have been scammed. Why am I paying this much money? Again, you will realize very quickly that you're paying too much for healthcare. And listen, I understand geo arbitrage and currency arbitrage and all of those things, right? I've been to many, many countries, or a few dozen countries at least, right? And I do understand how that works and currency exchange and all those things. But when you've been outside of the US long enough and you calculate, okay, the average salary for someone compared to what they pay for healthcare, whether it's a local clinic, a government hospital, if they pay anything at all, you realize, hmm, something doesn't make sense here. It doesn't make sense that people are afraid to get certain things checked out in the US, and get certain things done, procedures, because they're afraid that they will go bankrupt just for basic health care. It doesn't make sense that people are being billed hundreds of thousands of dollars for basic things. It doesn't make sense that it costs tens and thousands of dollars just to give birth. Birthing, which is such a natural thing, you might as well just do it at home, okay? And hire some midwives for a few thousands of dollars. But anyway, guys, let me just try to slow down because there's so much that I want to say. And I know I'm saying a lot before actually telling you how we actually handle healthcare outside of the US. Let me turn this AC up a little bit because I'm hot. But my point is, healthcare is a big concern for a lot of people. Believe it or not, you have some people who will literally stay in their jobs. You may have thought of this. You may have wanted to quit this toxic job for a while, but then you think about health insurance. You're like, how am I going to possibly afford health insurance if I leave my job? And what's crazy is the US does this thing where, and I'm not trying to only bash the US, you guys, but it's like, I just really want to share the facts, or at least share my opinion, my experience, okay? And not just my experience, but what a lot of people, thousands and thousands of Americans have experienced, and dozens of people that I know have also experienced, right? What's crazy is once you leave your job and your job no longer subsidized like your health insurance, then it becomes so much more expensive. It's really interesting because it's like, how do they expect you as someone that no longer has your job to now be able to afford even more in health insurance? Do you know what I mean? And so you have people out here spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars just to maintain their insurance on a monthly basis. And then you have the copays, and then you have the deductibles. Anyway, we don't deal with any of that living abroad. How we handle healthcare is very, very simple. So where we live in Thailand. Thailand has major cities, Bangkok being one of them. They have local clinics. They have government hospitals, private hospitals. We mostly go to the private hospitals. It costs a little bit higher than like local clinics and government hospitals, but the service that we get is also top tier. And believe it or not, it's not just foreigners who actually go to these private hospitals. A lot of times we mostly see Thai people, right, as well, that go to these private hospitals. So for example, a visit for maybe a checkup right now, we are expecting baby number two. And so I've been doing my prenatals, and my prenatals visits vary sometimes. Maybe I'm doing a blood test, so that may cost an additional 2,000 Thai baht, or 60 USD, or maybe it costs an additional 100 USD. But in general, for a general prenatal checkup with the ultrasound and everything, it's about 2,500 Thai baht, which is about 70, 75 US dollars. Okay, that's pretty much it out of pocket. We also have international health insurance, okay? You can choose whichever international health insurance you want to go with. Here in Thailand, they also have them where you can sign up for the health insurance locally, especially once you get to a certain age. But we're at the age where we can just get international health insurance. And for my entire family right now, a family of three, myself, my husband, and our baby boy, who's 2 years old, he's also covered. We pay about 112 US dollars for health insurance, and that covers all emergency visits. It covers emergency travel. So if we had to be evacuated, if there was an emergency flood, which actually happened to us while we were in Bali, Indonesia yesterday, not yesterday, good Lord, not yesterday, last year. And we had to evacuate pretty much because it was an emergency flood. They reimbursed us for like the stay and the flights and all of those things. Get travel insurance, okay? If you're traveling, especially if you have children, get it. You never know what can happen. There are IROPS, flight delays, flight cancellations. All these things happen in the aviation world. All right. So get travel insurance. That is also covered for $112 per month. Per month, you guys. I actually have to go. And we are also reimbursed for any emergency visits. Okay. So if we had to rush to the emergency room or rush to the hospital, and let's say the bill was $150, somebody maybe broke their ankle, God forbid. Hopefully that never happens. You think something is wrong with you. If one of us had to be rushed to the hospital, that gets reimbursed. 100% if it's an emergency. You can also upgrade to the complete plan with this company that we have. You can check out the link in the description below. Currently, we're using Safety Wing, and it has been good to us for the almost 2 years that we've been using it. You can upgrade to a higher plan, especially if you're family planning and you know that you plan on having a baby within the next year or so. You kind of have to be paying into it before you can get the prenatal and postnatal and delivery benefits of giving birth. It also covers like cancer treatments and death benefits and all these things. And it's about 150 US dollars per person for that plan. All right, guys, I'm going to do a part two of this video. So if you liked what you've heard so far, consider subscribing to the channel. Leave me a comment, ask the questions that you have below. If you have any concerns or anything like that, if there's anything that you want me to cover, maybe childcare expenses, cost of living as a family, especially as a growing family living here in Thailand, be sure to leave those comments below and I will do my best. Okay, more than likely I will address them. So like this video, subscribe to the channel, consider subscribing. We're on our way, somewhat close enough to 500 subscribers. I just started this channel sometime last year. This is a newer channel, so that I can just share more like raw and real stuff about living abroad, life abroad, as a family, and things that you can consider, strategies and tips to help you be able to live your dream life abroad. Baby boy is back and I'm out. It's your girl Shai Bivia. It was an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you guys later. Be blessed. Bye.